You wake up as usual, just as the sun's first rays pierce through the darkness. What's better than a hot bath to start the day? Hell yeah. Silas and Marine are waiting for you outside the refrain's gates. Good morning. I thought you had super important secret stuff to do for the halls, miss. What are you doing here? Takes Marine a good amount of self-control to keep her expression blank. With my duties to the halls fulfilled, I can now focus on handling my late mentor's business. Which is? Marnie throws a glance at you. Right. I had almost forgotten about fate beckoning Zara, destiny, all those grand things. Silas clasps her hands together with gusto. So, shall we go? Where to? Our presence is required at the Temple of Dawn. Could we stop by the Hand of Piety on the way? Can't all those people stop dying for a moment? I have a trinket to buy! Silas's imitation is so uncannily true to the source it gives you whiplash. I love when they say these things after I've already said it. Oh well. Excuse me? Dawns on you that you did not tell Marine about the peasant deaths that have been occurring in the city. Silas, she doesn't know yet. She could have asked. You tell Marine all you know, which is remarkably little. A large number of peasants from the land of House Rizzo have died in similar circumstances. An illness, it seems. They will all die, squeezed for their sweat, prized like the donkey is for its work, not for its being. Had you told me that, I would not have requested such an insensitive detour. Is that remorse I'm hearing? You glare at them both, nipping the vicious exchange in the bud. People in rags form a line in the corner of the temple, probably for the soup served in the morning and before sunset. The poor are fed by the very false sun you're meant to drown in blood. Zara, you're earlier than I expected. Did you manage to find someone who could help? In one of the side streets that link Autry's Rest to the western gates, there's an old surgery with a saw on the signpost. It appears closed, but my friend Lapo still receives patients every once in a while. Tell him I sent you. Silas, would you know where his surgery is? No, but there aren't many streets that go from the rest to the western gates. We'll find it. Is there anything we need to know before visiting this acquaintance of yours? Brother Matia's gaze roams the mural on the wall, the one that depicts the great feats of the goddess in her dawn aspect. The Lady of Dawn's greatest achievement was stealing the stars from the night so that they could shine upon us all and show us the way. You wait for the story to continue, but Brother Matia simply smiles. Why not? Wait, who's talking? Why not speak plainly, brother? What are you... Wait, what the fuck did you just say to me? Everybody gotta speak in fucking riddles, Jesus Christ. Greatest achievement was stealing the stars from the night so that they could shine upon us all and show us the way. What? What? I didn't get either of these from that. What? Huh? Are you saying the end justifies the means? He smiles again. Okay. Cool. Tight. Yeah, okay. We'll find Lapo and pick his brain. May the Lady of Dawn light your path and embolden your hearts. Great, cool, thanks. I feel so enlightened. The light stings your eyes once you step outside. Of all the surgeons in the city, we're going to one not currently practicing. Why? I have no fucking clue. Others might not want to put their profession in jeopardy. I don't know what this lmao expects us to do, but it might be dangerous, illegal, or both. RNA size. Lead the way. The market in the rest is particularly busy in the morning. Small confections and wine are sold for breakfast along with the usual assortment of brooms, buckets, and other household essentials. How have I never noticed this castle on the mountain before? Crazy. Atri's statue towers over the crowd with her severe frown. You wonder how she feels, having a square to her name. You can't imagine her being pleased about it. The winding streets that leave the rest open up onto small vegetable gardens or animal pens. There. Marnie points at a hanging sign carved to resemble a saw crossed with a pair of scissors. The windows of the surgery are obscured by curtains. Peculiar smell invades your nose once you walk closer. Sickly sweet, like rotten blood. That priest keeps some interesting company. You knock on the door. Someone curses loudly. A chair scrapes along the floor, and a few moments later, an eye appears in the peephole. What? Good morning. I was sent here by Brother Matya. The peephole closes suddenly. Hear the scraping of a metal hatch on the other side of the door and more colorful cursing. Is he a surgeon or a sailor? I mean, we've met sailors. None of them swore this much. After several moments, the door cracks open. Come in. I don't have all day. You exchange a look with the others and walk inside. Oh. An array of tools and vials and a bleached skull are strewn over the shelves on the wall next to a drawing of a dissected body. Practice is sparsely furnished and surprisingly clean, given the smell. Matya never mentioned the halls being involved. Lapo's a stocky man with a strong nose and the first signs of aging around his eyes. His right arm. The halls aren't involved yet. I am. Ha, you're one of those people who use semantics to make the lives of everybody else difficult and yours easier. Semantics? Jesus Christ. Can I not do both? Son of a bitch. Here. It's the meaning of words. Thanks. When he sits on the table, the knot tied at the end of his right sleeve falls limply onto his legs. So, how much you know about what's going on? I'm appalled at the lack of introductions, credentials, and reasons to trust you. Lapo, surgeon. He raises the stump concealed by his shirt. What is a surgeon, before you ask? A big grin appears on Silas's face. She likes him already, you suspect. I can't imagine you being friends with Brother Matya. Says the urchin who walked in with a miss from the halls. Thought you were here for a reason, not for idle chit-chat. Yes. Well, on to the problem. Let's try this again. What do you know about this malady that's killing peasants left and right? Not much. That they all live in the lands of House Rizzo or around there. When they reach the city, for one reason or another, they collapse. You've written enough funerary notices and consoled enough grieving relatives to know what the disease looks like. They cough or throw up blood, boil with fever, and sweat profusely right until they pass away. Correct. Nobody's studied this new ailment yet or come up with a name for it, and I'll tell you why. Nobody cares enough. What do you mean nobody cares?
The peasants are country bumpkins. Little to no family here, and having a sick person in the house is plenty of work. I don't want to get out and find more.
Let us name it then.
Done. Death by blood.
Yeah. Isn't that a little long?
Do you have a better suggestion? No? Death by blood it is. Now, to the important question. What is the origin of the disease?
You're the surgeon, not me.
I could spew nonsense and have it sound reasonable, but the truth is I won't know until I rummage a bit.
Rummage?
You and I both want to know what kills them. Give me a fresh corpse that died by blood and I'll learn it soon enough.
Dissection. Tears stain the paper of this letter. Last year we lost 53 to the disease that took your son. This year only 14. Some ask me how it's possible. How come they live when all those before them have died? Tell them it's because of a brave young man called Lucas. Tell them that without him we would have never known what to do. Tell them that I wish I could be half as brave as he was and face his father, and the letter stops abruptly. Oh, other envoys. Oh yeah. List of names followed by notes. Most beloved of Carolis. Atri? Artie? Check for spelling at her statue. Her gift reminds me of dear Schlooks. They both mark chosen. They both use them as anchors, but whereas my brother possesses, the Admiral protects. Shame we were never allowed to meet. I believe we would see eye to eye. Merriest among all of Carolis. Name and appearance unknown. All my efforts to find her have been thwarted. Interesting. Who the fuck is that? Harbinger of the darkest hour of Carolis. Fear what her gift might be. Were she to drink deeply from the souls of pasts fount as we did. Wait. Who? Just based off of the title for this one, I would have thought that this was Alpheon, but there's only 4 of us, right? Unless maybe this isn't just the Carolis. No, but this is literally of Carolis. Wait. Is the prodigal son? Confusion. Okay. Right? Wasn't that the prodigal one? It wasn't the prodigal son. Why was I thinking that phrase? Probably a song that I listened to recently. The prodigal one is also the merriest among all? Interesting. I'm even more intrigued now. Surgery as 2 rapiers are weighted to ensure fairness. The duelists proclaim their reasons for the bout. I, Sandro Antonio Savino Vieri, cannot forgive the affront to my honor by Lapo of the Sergeants' Guild. He dared question the efficacy of the remedies I took great pains to acquire from the most excellent Republic of Delgado. Lapo rolls his eyes. Authentic Togari Theriac would list the secret ingredient as the secretions of a millennial tree. Only the ladies know what's in the Vieri's treacle. Smells wrong. The consistency is wrong. Might as well be soot-tinted honey. The more he thinks about it, the angrier he becomes. How many have exchanged their saving for this fancy dart? How many could have lived had he not fabricated this grand story around his fucking garbage syrup? The scoff he rolls up his sleeve. I, Lapo of the Surgeons' Guild, cannot forgive the affront to common sense by this ill-meaning fool. The Theriac, he ducks to the side, and the blade meant for his back spears through his forearm instead. Okay, this is how he lost his arm. He falls to the ground as the crowd proclaims Lord Vieri the winner of the duel. For he did respect procedure, and is now fit to do whatever he wants with the loser. What? That's bullshit. Where's the fucking honor in this? Hello? What kind of fucking shit-ass duel? Unbelievable. Loser? Clenching his teeth, Lapo looks at the Lord, ready to stand back, wield the rapier, and you should make sure your surgery stays closed, What a fuckhead. Okay, I'm pissed. Oh my god, wait, we unlocked so many things? Lapo brusque sergeant. Jolts away from the pain. Hurts his hand, but how? Raises his arm and sees nothing. Feeling is there, that of his fingers closing in a fist, but he lost all of them. Cursing under his breath, he touches his stump. Stupid mind playing tricks on me. Falls back on the bed. Bitter tears cloud his eyes. Curse the day he accepted the duel. Curse his opponent. Curse his foul temper. Curse his stupid pain. Oof. Siren, an enemy. Note to patron Lord Legrand. The Havadian was right about the waters feeling darker past Fiorella. We were just there, Brother F and I. We convinced him to join us. I slit his neck as I kissed him, and I saw it. A creature of great size with a savage crown and wicked talons. Wait. Wait, that first bit of this sentence though, hello? I gifted Yetter's death throws to the abyss and made the monster stir. Oh. Jesus. Then the waves swelled and we grew frightened. Could not incur the ire of the warden and leave Brother F alone. Pushed the body in the water to appease the creature and rode back with haste. Wow. Primeval emanation of its will, aid the harbinger, but know that your time is no more. I know, now it's the time of mortals, but can it not be my time too? Must I be alone? The abyss had no answer. Primeval envoy's wings slowly unfurl as a school of fish finds its way through the feathers. Odd, something is dampening its agitation. It's lost the abyss's favor, but it's not as scared as it should be. Ah, that's why. Because it's sure that in the harbinger it has a friend. You're damn right, we'll be friends with ice cream forever. Shiroko, known as Shiroko in Karalis, Shluk is an envoy of Banu Havidyar and one of the Four Winds. His rich garments are embroidered with the same flowers Malik has carved on his flesh. He can possess his chosen to see what they see, feel what they feel, and act while they are none the wiser. Matya, friend of Lapo. Conversation between surgeon and patient. What did I tell you? You should not move your arms. Your elbows? Whatever. The upper arms? I want them immobile until the stitches heal. I know. It doesn't look like it. You were supposed to have healed already. They would have had you stopped skipping meals. I can't, you know that. Do you want to feel like shite or feel like shite? It's been a month already. You can't keep ripping the stitches. Every time you do, you risk an infection. I know it's gonna make you feel awful, but your body needs to be as strong as it can to mend itself. Eat. When it comes, just pretend you have the shits for us tonight. People take herbs for that all the time. You just have to take different ones. I'll think about it. Interesting. Admiral Atri. Desperate prayer screamed in the storm. Arise, my ancient kin, darkness begotten of darkness. Arise and destroy these foul invaders and their cruel ships. Lay waste to their feet and devour their accursed flag. Rise and destroy, I implore you. Heed my word and unleash your fury. Well, we caught up. We've read everything. We gotta go get a body. I mean, yeah, this makes sense. We'll see what we can do. RNA and Silas don't seem thrilled by the idea, but they don't disagree with you, at least for the moment. Fresher the better. Yeesh. Oh, okay. What happens after, you're done? I'll return the body to Dusk so that her little priest can take care of it. She sighs in relief. As soon as you're outside, Marine shakes her head. I hope you realize what you promised him you'd do. Find an affected peasant who just died, bring their corpse here without alerting the guards, and leave it in the singular, non-dominant hand of that surgeon. When you put it like that... How will you even find people dying in the streets? By roaming them? Also, didn't we literally see one just the other day? Right? I swear to God that was a thing that happened. I remember because I was very upset by it. You don't expect your search to be fruitful, aimless as you are. The streets are empty while the sun is at its zenith, and the people gather around wells or in taverns. We need to find a better strategy for tomorrow, like going from outhouse to outhouse? That sounds disgusting. Smart, you mean? When someone doesn't feel great, where do you think they go? After hours of fruitless roaming, Silas and Marine bid you farewell by the guest house gates, but it's too early to retire for the evening. The cobblestones around the refrain, polished by thousands of feet, are almost slippery. You follow the shiny trail until a boisterous laugh catches your attention, followed by chirps. Was that? Let the sound guide you. After a sharp turn, you step into a small square with a well in the middle. Alpheon is sitting on the well's lip, his lute forgotten on the ground. A band of children is gathered around him. What voice did I give this dude? I can't even remember. Whatever. Which witch stitched up the snitch with the twitching riches itch?
But that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to. I'll try. Which witch it's stitched up.
I'll say it again slowly. Which witch stitched up the snitch with the twitching riches itch?
It's too long.
How about this then? She sells seashells by the shore.
She sells seashore.
Almost.
She sells seashells by the seashore. The sells is hard.
You're not sure what you were expecting, but practicing tongue twisters, wasn't it? His eyes meet yours and he smiles. Look who's here.
Who is it?
A friend of mine. Are you the one that sells seashells by the seashore? Haha. Oh, we can challenge. Wait, what's... I don't know. Let's play along, because it's apparently not reciting the tongue twister. Is it just like, haha, yes, I have shells. Have them. Yeah, let's not get into a tongue twister challenge. I'll fucking lose. I will. We'll just play along. I am. Unfortunately, the prettiest ones are already gone. I believe the prettiest of all of them is not for sale. And which one is that, you fucking... I know where this is going. Why did we ask this question?
I like the ones with rainbows inside.
Alpheon chuckles. Here's another easy one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You said it was easy.
It's easy for me.
How much wood would a wood... What? Ah, no!
Alpheon pats the seat next to him. A long time no see. I could say the same. What are you doing here? He lowers his voice. I was roped into watching these children by a rather distressed couple. They dumped them on the closest available adult, which happened to be me, and ran off doing the ladies know what.
How much wood would a woodchucker chuck?
It's woodchuck. They giggle. I'm afraid I'm duty-bound here until they come back. This sounds terribly irresponsible of the parents. Like, what if you were a bad person? I mean, I'll hang out. You would.
It's wood, not wood.
What? I said wood. Bells that mark the quarters ring twice before the parents come back and thank Alpheon profusely for his help. Didn't expect you to be so responsible. Responsible. Me! Perish the thought. He fishes his loot from the ground. I just thought of something silly. Didn't I tell you that the parents were looking for the closest available adult? He grins. Those children have been around longer than you and I combined. Oh. Wow. I mean, I'm a simple baby. Wait, how long have you been around? A little over 2 years. His eyelashes paint long shadows across his cheeks. You know, I almost envy them. You envy who? The kids? The children. You and I came into this world fully formed. Sometimes I wonder what it's like to be innocent and carefree like a child. Most people remember that time of their lives with fondness. We'll never experience being small and afraid and being comforted by someone utterly devoted to us. Never. Thanks. I'm sad now. Yeah, that would be nice. If only that was all. We've been robbed of much more, all in exchange for... He makes a vague gesture with his hand and the shadows on his skin turn impossibly deep. For this. He sighs. When you turn to look at him, he wears a strange expression on his face.
Say, are your shoes comfortable?
What? 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 Why? What? I mean, why?
I just had a wonderful idea. We could hop on a wagon, go to the fields, and...
What? A smile blooms on his face.
frolic! What do you think?
What? 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 Huh? What? Huh? I'm so baffled. What? I don't think the farm hands would be happy about that.
I don't think the farmhands will be happy we're stomping on their livelihood.
Who do you take me for? I did my research.
Did you? Because this sounded like the most out of left field whim I've ever heard in my life.
Fields can't be used indefinitely to produce crops. There are rest periods in between cycles, whatever that means. It won't be hard to find a resting field, one that looks unkempt, and just run in it.
What? Why? What?
If you're sure.
Okay.
I could use the distraction.
Are those pesky souls floating around you being hard to please?
I mean, are they ever easy to please? You tell him about death by blood and the surgeon on your way to the Rose?
I had no idea it was happening. The Rose sees more sailors than farmhands, after all.
After leaving his loot at the tavern, you make your way to the western gates. A small path winds down the main street and leads to a walled flower field nestled at the foot of Carolice's hill.
That's the cemetery. See any abandoned fields?
Oh, you don't want to run through the cemetery? Small farms dot the gentle landscape, sprawling hills of gold and green.
The green ones. They are at rest, I assume?
I have no idea. Oh, let's leave this maze of cobblestones behind to dive into nature.
His gait is giddy and his jacket shimmers in the warm hues of the approaching sunset. You look like a crow to his peacock.
It feels like you want to say something.
Oh, you know, this is just weird for me.
Why? You're right where you want to be, aren't you? That's all that matters.
Cobblestones turn into a dirt road.
I just thought of something. When I came into this world, I was alone. I'm glad you are not.
Didn't Atri help you?
It took her a while to warm up to me.
Oh.
Surely due to no fault of your own.
Ha! I wish I could say that. Tragically, I am aware of my many, many qualities and of my rare, yet unfortunate flaws.
Summer has its own smell, just like the country does, and as you walk, it's replaced by a foul stench.
Fertilizer?
I'm afraid so. And here I thought I was clever, picking a place with no cattle in sight. Ugh.
For how long have you been planning this trip?
Oh, this was a spontaneous thing.
Yeah, of course.
Granted, I have always wanted to visit the hinterlands sooner or later. Where are the lands of House Rizzo again?
A day away on foot.
He sighs in relief. The wagon overtakes your leisurely pace, overpowering the relentless serenade of the cicadas.
All this buzzing is getting to my head. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da.
He then straightens his shoulders and vocalizes a scale, looking at you. What? Oh, I'm not. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. I'm not doing that. He repeats the scale, this time with his eyes closed. Weeds and wildflowers spill out of the low, decrepit fence that marks the borders of a field.
This looks unkempt enough.
Lichens grow like splashes on the fence.
Are we sure we can't just walk in?
No, but if we get in trouble, I'll get us out of it. I'm good at that.
He takes his time climbing over the fence. When he... Interesting focus there, game. When he raises his leg, the strings pulled across the slits in his pants sink into his tan skin, drawing pretty shadows on it. Your eyes fall on the shapely curve of his thighs before you force yourself to look away.
Well?
Huh? Oh, it's your turn. Grass crunches under you, scorched by the sun. Fucking leap over that shit. You jump over the gate in one flowing motion.
Oh!
Ha ha! Alfion's eyes glint and he nods toward the end of the field.
First one to the other side.
1.
I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you.
2.
No, I'm honorable. You start running as soon as the word leaves your lips. The only worry you have at the moment, your silly race with him, fills you with delight. Dart across the tall yellowed grass, disrupting the cicadas. Have you ever giggled like this before? The race has a clear winner. Yes! Fuck yeah, it does. You're goddamn right, I won. I didn't put all my points into fucking brute strength for nothing. Alfion touches the fence some seconds after you and laughs.
And here I wanted to show off.
Yeah,
Serves
good luck
me
with
right.
that. He laughs and leans over the fence.
Now, I wish there was a hill for us to roll down.
And injure ourselves.
He takes his jacket off and hangs it on the fence.
Soil our clothes, you mean? If something happens to that jacket, I'm out of commission for a few days.
You raise an eyebrow.
It takes a long time to dry.
I mean... Yeah, best to have at least one outer piece of clothing that doesn't get fucked up. You follow his example and unclasp your long cloak.
Can I try it on? I've always wondered how I would look with a billowing cloak behind my back.
You chuckle and give it to him. It's so small on him that he needs to don it on his shoulder. Once he's happy with how it looks, he makes it move in the air.
Well, now I see why you wear it. It makes me feel dark and foreboding.
Excellent. You chuckle.
Here, you try this.
He offers his jacket to you. Oh, this is not gonna look as good on us as our cloak. Okay. It's too big. Your arms swim in the sleeves and your hands barely poke out. Smells like him. The scent is sweet and rich like wine with just a hint of sweat.
It looks like green is your color. A lovely contrast with the rosiness of your cheeks.
I don't believe you. He chuckles again and takes off your cloak, folding it neatly and placing it on the fence. He had his jacket on top. Alfion looks at you and grins.
One lap around the field. Ready?
And so you run in the field without a care in the world. When you trip, you roll and laugh, feeling the soil beneath your fingers and the grass grazing your cheeks. You must look quite disheveled, you think. catch Alpheon staring at you, and he bats his eyes and smiles, never quite close enough for you to touch him.
And here I thought we could tire ourselves running.
The cloudy sky flares up with warm hues as dusk approaches.
Silly me, wishing we were mortals.
You head back to Carolise before it grows too late.
Thank you, by the way,
What for?
for entertaining my whims.
Didn't he arrange this little trip to distract you in the first place?
I had fun, too.
His eyes sparkle.
Now that makes it even better.
The city guards somehow let you in without a fuss. Alpheon's eyes glow just a little as you pass them.
How angry do you think the innkeeper will be when he realizes his favorite minstrel is nowhere to be found?
Isn't he always in a foul mood?
That's just his face. He's actually a rather kind fellow.
He bows to you with all the pageantry of a consummate performer.
Let me know when I can entertain your whims for a change. I'll be happy to oblige.
And with that, he prances off to the tavern. Well, that was nice. Wrapped in silks or clad in rags, it matters not to the abyss. All mortals return to its embrace, be they venerable or unnamed, exalted in life or despised in death. All return? The false sun preaches an insidious lie, that of heavens, that of hells. Are you saying the abyss embraces all? The city's bells ring the tune of a new day. Does the Lady of Dusk truly not judge mortals at the end of their life? If the souls of the departed return to the abyss, the worthy never reap their heavenly reward, and the wicked are never punished in the hells. But what does the prodigal one have to do with it? Silas and Marine are waiting for you outside the gates. Good morning. Ready for day 2 of our wild goose chase? Since we don't have anything planned, I'd like to visit the Stitch and Seam. Carolise is still waking up. The fragrant smell of bread makes Silas turn her face. Me too, homie. No breakfast today, miss? The kitchens didn't have any leftovers I could easily bring with me. Aw. We could stop somewhere if you want. And that's why you're my favorite of the two. Marnie rolls her eyes but follows her to a bakery. There's a small crowd eating outside, including a familiar face. Oh. Fuck. I mean, part of the problem is that I don't remember the voice I picked, but also, oh no. But also, oh no, we kinda low-key, high-key did crimes last time. Oh. Shit. Whatever. Oh. Renza says, Bejeweled is the time you saw her in La Marina. You almost expect her to run away, but she doesn't. Her eyes fall from you to Marine, then Silas. Shit. She saw us. Still seated and surrounded by her people, Renza smiles. Who saw us? Renza, I'll go talk to her. Are you sure? I mean, if that's the, I think that's the best choice. I shouldn't go over there. Silas walks up to her. The bespectacled woman. She's the one who stole the brooch that we were looking for. An acquaintance of Silas, I see. The two exchange some words, and then Silas enters the bakery as Renza stands up to leave. Don't come over here. She's followed by the small group that was gathered around her. She must be quite important to have sycophants. When Silas rejoins you, her expression is unnaturally grim. Oh dear. She munches on the loaf of bread she bought without a word. What happened? I told you, right? About the 3 rules I need to follow? She needs to follow them too. Just wanted to remind her of that. Witch rules. Silas blows her a raspberry, but you can see she's concerned. I don't remember. Just... I won't pry yet. Bread seems to restore her cheerful mood. That's good. You continue to the stitch and seam. The head seamstress waves merrily at your group from the doorstep. Was she waiting for you? Good morning, Miss Morning, Miss Zara, and Silas. Right, and Miss Silas. Your order is ready. What? I didn't buy anything. Did I? I did. You spot in the back Anilia's morning shawl. She's folding a long white dress. 2 sleeping gowns for Zara. Marne really shouldn't have. Anilia approaches you with a soft bundle in her arms. Here you are. The fabric that flows underneath your fingers is silky smooth. They must have cost a small fortune. Anilia, how have you been? The dark shawl really ages her. A bit better. Oh. Yeah, that was the wrong question to ask. My bad. It's fine. Can we do anything for you? I don't believe so. Are you free this evening? We could honor your mother with a small celebration. Where? At the Rose? It's not really the best place for that kind of thing. We can ask the minstrel to change his tunes for a minute. I could ask him. If that's the case, I'd love to. Yippee! After the quick detour, you spill back into the streets, aimless. When I said we should go from outhouse to outhouse, I was serious, by the way. See you, Liz. You can look for them on the way to Melik's shop, then. Ladies forgive you if you don't spend a fortune every day, huh? Sheesh. Takes all of Marine's restraint to ignore the barb. There are several outhouses on the way. One is being cleaned by some priests of the prime, easy to recognize in their orange stoles and working robes. Bring forth the darkest hour, drown the false sun in blood, says the abyss. Even when it keeps the city clean and running, when it feeds the poor, when it buries the dead. That was a deep sigh. I'm conflicted, like I always am, about everything. Aren't we all? Yeah, she looks at Silas. Save for those of us without the curse of critical thinking. Can you go 5 minutes without insulting me? Jesus. It was not an insult, merely an observation. Keep searching. Some of the squalid outhouses are occupied, others are too decrepit to close properly, and rancid fumes hang in the air nearby. Suddenly the shadows pull at the edge of your vision. They will all die. Oh, that's concerning. The usual whisper feels different. Around the corner, you quicken your pace to chase it. Zara? Where are you going? Squeezed for their sweat. Oh, okay, it's this one again. I'm not used to having it piece by piece, so that they will all die was alarming. When you've gained on the whisper, it pulls you farther. Price like the donkey is. It's leading you somewhere in the shade of the old city walls left to crumble. For its work, not for its being. Something dark stains the cobblestones of a shaded alley. Oh. Young man is sitting on the ground with his back against the wall. He died, squeezed for his sweat, priced like the donkey is, for its work, not for its being. The young man's head lolls forward, stretching his neck into an uncomfortable position. Dried blood paints his chin and jaw brown. Well, found one. Although, if the blood's already dried and brown, this probably isn't fresh enough for the freaking dude, huh? Blood stripped on his rough shirt, staining it all over. Death took away his dignity and the stench that surrounds him. Unbreathing. Rigid. Dead. It's been some hours if he's so stiff. Silas whispers a quick prayer to Dusk before looking away. You two stay here. I'll call the surgeon. Silas runs off with purpose, leaving you gathered around the corpse. Arne's glistening eyes are transfixed on the young man. Why is it that Silas can look death in the eye and not weep like I do? I mean, she's probably seen it before. She's probably used to it. How hardened must her heart be for death to lose its sacredness in her eyes? She hides her face in her hands and fights back the tears. You wrap your arm around her shoulders and comfort her silently. Soft are the shadows that accompany mortals to the cradle and to the grave. Those around the young man, however, still bear the franticness of fear. He was alone, terrified, forgotten. I'm here. Your own shadow stretches to caress the agitated darkness around the body. You're not forgotten. It takes several minutes before Silas arrives with a stretcher in her arms and Lapo in tow.
So young. He might have not tricked Dusk to live another day, but I bet the old hag welcomed him to see the heavens with open arms.
He too seems unaffected by the tragedy in front of his eyes.
Silas, lay the stretcher down and come help me. Can't carry him like this. We need to make him lie down. You, what's your name? Zara? Make sure nobody comes to look. It's gonna sound unpleasant. Oh. And take the miss with you.
Lapo is courteous enough to warn you, but not to wait. He kneels by the young man's corpse and grabs his ankle. Oh, Jesus, fuck. The sound of the surgeon breaking through the rigor mortis makes your skin crawl. After a quick glance at the horrified Marne, you leave the alley. That poor young man, stripped of his dignity and tainted in our memories. I never understood the rite of the Last Supper until now. Eh? Ceremony to welcome death with dignity and at one's own terms. Oh. Beloved of Dusk is given a bath and dressed in their best clothes by her priests, who oversee one last feast for friends and family. At the end, when the last spoon is laid on the table, tears are shed and last goodbyes are whispered. Beloved of Dusk is taken to a comfortable bed and given a tisson? I don't fully remember where the emphasis is supposed to be in that word. The pungent smell. It's then that the Lady of Dusk descends from the heavens to hold their hand and return with them. Are we still all caught up on this? Excellent. The noises continue as Lapo breaks the young man's legs to carry him more easily. A few passers-by quicken their pace, others look at you inquisitively. Surgeon is at work. That's enough to make them pray to Dusk and go their way.
Done.
When you look back into the alley, the young man's broken body is on the stretcher. Silas is staring at the ground, lost in thought.
We'll have to manage with 3 arms.
Huh? Oh. I was like, wait. You gave the dead guy an extra arm? I can help. Before he can protest, you take the handles at the back and slightly lift the stretcher. Lapo cocks an eyebrow but doesn't comment. Silas at the head of your grim procession. You head to his practice. Once the young man is on the table, Lapo looks at your group.
Wouldn't stay if I were you.
We weren't planning to.
Good. Come back tomorrow.
I'm more than happy to leave the gruesome sight behind. Before I retire for the night, I will send a letter to Anelia and cancel our dinner plans. Without waiting for an answer, she walks away at a brisk pace. She's even more shaken up than after seeing the warden. What about you? I had to help him break the lad's bones. I am not fine. Hug. Silas is alive. She's warm, breathing. Wrapping your arms around her, you try to replace the grim images burned into your eyes with the very real, very tangible sensations she gives you. Are you cold or am I boiling? Why do you think I keep the cloak on? You stay like that for a while. Thank you. You didn't even cry. It wouldn't help anyone. She gives you one last squeeze before parting from you. I think I'll go to the Temple of Dusk, say a prayer or two for him. Wanna come? Sure. The Temple of Dusk is a magnificent building wrapped in rich, brooding drapes. The inside is quiet and somber, unlike the buzzing of dawn. I don't know any prayers. That's fine. Just talk with the Lady of Dusk and tell her what you think. I wasn't planning on doing the praying, I was just tagging along. Oh, abyss that springs softly from decay, tell me. That young man was alone when he died. Was he scared? Did you comfort him? Did he cry? Whose name did he call? Yeesh. Yeesh, weesh. A single shadow wraps around your wrist and nestles itself in your hand. Blink and it disappears. Well, can't get the sound of that young man's legs breaking from your mind. No flight of fancy saves you from the image of his slumped body and the clumps of dried blood on his face. And the horror doesn't stop. Tomorrow your blissful ignorance will shatter as Lapo shares with you what he learned after dissecting the body.